Airbnb arbitrage. In Morocco. It's got a certain ring to it, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it?
And I can see why so many people are interested in this kind of opportunity.
Yeah, yeah.
Tapping into Morocco's tourism
Absolutely.
and offering these like unique stays that,
Mm-hmm.
everyone seems to be looking for these days. It's kind of like
Right.
the modern day equivalent of,
Yeah.
trading up to that Riad with
Yeah.
the courtyard and the fountain and all that.
It's got that allure, and the thing is, it's not just some passing trend, right?
Right.
Like Airbnb is hugely popular in Morocco.
Okay.
And a big part of that is because travelers, they are looking for those authentic and affordable experiences.
Okay, so this is for real. This
Yeah.
isn't just like, hype or something.
Right. It's not just a fad, no.
Okay. So, quick explainer for anyone who might be new to this whole thing.
Yeah.
When we say Airbnb arbitrage, essentially what we mean is you are renting out a property and then listing that property on Airbnb,
Right.
like for a higher price.
Yep.
And you're pocketing the difference. So it's kind of, it's simple in concept, but as with a lot of things that sound simple, I imagine there are some legal hoops to jump through, right?
Ah.
Especially when we're talking about another country.
You're absolutely spot on.
Okay.
Yeah, and this is where, in Mobilio, they're a leading Moroccan real estate agency.
Correct.
Their blog post on this is really helpful.
Okay.
They break things down, and they emphasize one really, really key legal point, and that is Article 668 of Morocco's Code of Obligations and Contracts.
Whoa. Okay. This is serious stuff now.
This is the real deal.
This isn't like some
This isn't,
obscure legal jargon.
Exactly. This is the article that could make or break your Airbnb arbitrage dreams.
Okay. So break it down for me.
Right.
What does this Article 668 actually say?
Well, in a nutshell, it states that subletting a property in Morocco without the explicit written permission from the owner is a no-go.
Okay. So it's not as straightforward as I might have initially thought.
It's not quite as simple as just finding a place and throwing it up on Airbnb.
Okay. So due diligence is key here.
Absolutely. Due diligence is essential.
So it's not as easy as like, just going on Airbnb, finding some charming riad and just hitting like, list.
Yeah, it's not quite as simple as that.
Okay, so due diligence is key here. Now, let's say I do find an owner and they are like totally on board with this whole like arbitrage idea.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of agreement are we talking about? Like what needs to be spelled out to keep everybody happy and, on the right side of the law?
You're already thinking like a true entrepreneur, which is great.
Okay.
But that written agreement, that's your golden ticket.
Oh.
And that needs to be, as detailed as like the tile work in one of these riad courtyards,
Yeah.
According to Immobilio, and I think this makes a lot of sense,
Yeah.
you absolutely have to have the rental duration clearly defined.
Okay.
So there's no confusion there. Payment terms need to be ironed out. So are we paying monthly? Are we paying like quarterly? All of that needs to be totally clear. And any specific conditions the owner wants to include. And this isn't just about protecting you. It's about making sure that you have a respectful and mutually beneficial partnership with the owner.
Okay, so transparency is key.
Transparency is key.
Okay, now I'm curious. Immobilio, it seems like they're like the go-to source for this. What makes them such experts on the Moroccan Airbnb scene?
They're not just another real estate agency. They live and breathe this world.
Okay.
Their founder, Mohammed Saad LLHADAJ, he's got over a decade of experience just navigating the Moroccan real estate market. 7 years specifically dedicated to Airbnb in Morocco.
Wow.
And, he actually shares this interesting tidbit in the blog post. He advises focusing on riads that have courtyards.
Okay.
Because they offer that quintessential Moroccan experience.
Right.
That guests are really looking for.
Right. Because you're not just getting like some sterile hotel room.
Exactly. He says, and I love this, he's like, don't just give them a room, give them a story.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you've got the riad, you've got your ironclad agreement.
Yeah.
You're ready to roll out the virtual welcome mat, right?
Right.
What are some key things to keep in mind when you are creating that Airbnb listing to make it stand out?
Okay, so this is where you've got to kind of channel your inner marketeer, right?
Okay.
And you've got to embrace Moroccan hospitality, which is really in a league of its own.
Yeah.
Stunning photos are a must. And I'm talking like vibrant textiles,
Wow.
beautiful, intricate tile work. But it's the personal touches that'll make guests feel like they've stumbled upon, like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
So imagine this. A welcome basket filled with like local dates and mint tea,
Oh,
a handwritten note with recommendations for like that hole-in-the-wall tagging place that only locals know about.
ooh, I love that.
Like, you know.
Yes, it's like that extra mile, but with that, like, Moroccan charm.
Exactly.
Those small gestures go a long way.
They do. And especially in a culture where hospitality is so, so valued,
Right, exactly.
it's about creating an experience, not just offering accommodations.
Yeah,
And this principle extends to your communication as well.
okay.
So responsiveness is key, especially considering potential language barriers. So, imagine a guest, they're reaching out, they've got a question about navigating the Medina.
Right.
That prompt and helpful reply, it can make all the difference.
Right, it built that trust and that rapport.
Yeah,
Shows
absolutely.
that you're invested.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, pricing. How do you strike that balance between attracting guests but also, like, making sure that this whole, like, venture is worthwhile?
Pricing, that's a delicate dance, my friend,
Okay.
especially because Moroccan travelers are quite value conscious. You
Right.
need to find that sweet spot where your pricing is competitive, but it also covered your costs and ideally generates a profit.
Right.
This might require, some market research, looking at comparable listings,
That's good.
understanding seasonal fluctuations, things like that.
Yeah, it's like finding that perfect blend of spices.
Exactly.
You need a dash of, like, market awareness, a pinch of, like, business savvy. So it seems like Airbnb arbitrage in Morocco, it's less about, like, those quick profits
Yeah, it's not a get-rich-quick scheme at all.
and more about a deeper understanding.
Absolutely. It's about respect for the legal framework,
Yeah.
embracing the culture, and realizing that, your success is really intertwined with offering a genuine Moroccan experience.
Yeah, like you're becoming like a cultural ambassador.
Exactly.
You're helping travelers unlock that magic.
Yeah. And that's the beauty of it. It's not just, here's the keys, see you later. You're curating this experience. You're
Yeah.
fostering cultural exchange. And, who knows, maybe you're even forming these like lasting connections with people.
Yeah, that is a wonderful point to end on.
I think so.
So for anyone listening who's, like, drawn to this allure of Airbnb arbitrage in Morocco, remember, it's a journey, right?
It is a journey.
It goes beyond just the transaction. You have to immerse yourself in the culture, understand those legal nuances we talked about,
Absolutely.
and create an experience that leaves, like, both you and your guests enriched. What would your dream Moroccan Airbnb look like?
Oh, that's a good one.
Would it be a riot in the heart of the Medina? Would it be like a Berber tent under a canopy of stars?
Yeah.
Keep that question in mind as you embark on your own deep dive.